Using a laptop or a tablet of some type to take notes in class has always been kind of an interest. And I have a particular way of going about it that I think is especially useful. And so I thought I would try to demonstrate this approach. What this approach does is make use of the potential of both recording audio and text simultaneously, with the text being linked to the audio. So, simply put, the way this works is you open up the app. In this case, I'm using Notability on an iPad. You start the audio, and then you begin entering your notes, your text, maybe your drawings, to record what you can from a presentation. A lecture is pretty much what I'm describing. Now, the advantage of doing this over just recording the text and sketches is that you have the audio as a backup. And what I mean by that is when you then later try to review your notes, you try to study your notes, and you come to something that doesn't make sense, or another thing I think you learn to do is you just enter question marks or something in your notes that reminds you that you missed something you think was important here. You can go back and listen to the audio again and then, complete your notes. So it's that combination of taking the notes that you can and revisiting the audio when necessary to try to catch up or try to better understand something you missed or seems to be unclear in the notes you've taken. So here's how I would do this with Notability. I'm going to try to simulate taking notes here by eventually playing some audio and taking some notes at the same time. You see here up above the microphone button. So I'm going to click the microphone, and you'll see I am now recording audio, and I have a keyboard here, which will make some noise. That's unfortunate. In some ways, doing this on a laptop is better because you don't hear the keyboard. So notes are entered. All right. But let me start then some audio and kind of show you how I see this working. References, I encourage you to look at the website. To explain this theory, I like to start with the question, how do you understand differences in aptitude? What's regarded as the traditional view might go something like this. Aptitude determines how much a student will learn given a fixed amount of time and a fixed approach to instruction. What's important here is to examine assumptions about what's fixed and what can vary. So in the traditional view, we assume the amount learned can vary, the amount of time will be fixed, and the method of instruction will be fixed. What if we take a different perspective? What if we assume that aptitude determines how long it will take to learn something, given an optimal approach to instruction? Again, we have things that are fixed and things that vary. In this case, the amount learned is fixed. It's the amount of time that varies. Why does this difference in perspective matter? It matters because learning builds on existing knowledge. So differences in learning speed depend on aptitude differences and existing knowledge differences. If a certain amount of time is allocated, and this amount of time is not enough for some students, the challenge of learning related content and skills in the future becomes greater. Here's how I think about this. Let's say there's a given amount of variability within a group because of aptitude. Let's say it's this much. All right, so that's kind of the way this will work. Now, let me stop the recording here and bring it down here into kind of playback mode. And let's see, I have to do this. Student will learn given a fixed amount of time and a fixed approach to instruction. And what you see is that I can to examine assumptions. It matters because learning builds click around in my text. So differences in learning speed depend on aptitude differences and existing knowledge differences. I can click in the text and pick up the audio at that point. Now, the challenge here is, of course, I'm taking notes after I hear something. And so when I start typing something, it's about something that's already recorded. And so what you then have to do is to back up your audio and start playing from that point if you want to kind of hear what you missed the first time. So this is a basic idea about taking notes that combines the recording of audio and the recording of text and sketches. One tool that allows this to be done, in this case on a tablet, is Notability. You really need to know just a couple of things: how to turn the audio on, how to click in the window to begin entering text, either from the keyboard on the tablet or, in this case, a separate keyboard. You need to select the pointer tool when you want to play back. But that's basically all there is to it. And the issue of taking notes with a device and on paper, I know, is controversial, with some people arguing that longhand writing is superior. You know, if you try to do just the same thing, which is to record text information, that possibly is the case. But that ignores other things that can be done with technology. And one of these is the kind of thing I'm showing you here, which is to use the audio as a backup, and you always have that available and linked efficiently to the notes you've taken if you need that more complete source again.